Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a brand new Blitz-News / LEGO news update. Today we're going to be discussing some very lovely information for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. By the way, guys, have you realized that the game is literally about 29 days away? That's kind of crazy, isn't it? That's absolutely insane. It feels like we just got the announcement and it's already almost here. Well, just a few days ago, we got some really lovely information about the Season Pass for the game. Now, for those of you that don't know what a Season Pass, because oftentimes whenever I make these news videos, there are lots of questions about what is a Season Pass, what is a DLC, what is downloadable content, which is DLC. Well, essentially, it is just additional content that you have to pay for in order to get. So basically the way that it works is that you have your core game, so you get whatever is on the disc, right, so to speak, or whatever is there as the core package. And then you can purchase something called the Season Pass if you'd like to. Of course, it's always an optional thing. And within the Season Pass, you receive a certain amount of value. Now, of course, that value is always perceived and differs from person to person. Like for one person, the DLC could be worth it, or for another person, it could be not worth it. So it really is something where I feel like it's person by person. And oftentimes these DLCs and everything have controversy, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. So I hope that explains kind of the whole notion of what the Season Pass is and the concept of the DLC is. So the Season Pass is basically an all-inclusive, almost like blanket that allows you to get everything that is going to come out as DLC. So this means you're going to get anything that comes out as DLC for that game, you will get, which is usually pretty handy, and in most scenarios, it does also save you a few bucks. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin discussing the Season Pass information for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. There is really quite a bit that was announced, and I have to say, I'm really glad that they announced all of it like this. I think that this is a far better strategy than oftentimes a lot of times, that makes no sense, so let's just carry on. But essentially, in many different circumstances, which is another way of saying oftentimes, but let's just continue here. Basically, a lot of companies, what they do is they'll say, oh, and we're gonna have a Season Pass, and then you don't know what the Season Pass is. So I really admire the fact that not only did they tell us what it is, but they were very specific in many circumstances as to what this entire Season Pass will be. So I'm really happy about that, because it gives you a really good idea right away. Do you want to get the Season Pass or do you not? And I think that is a really fair way of doing things. So with that being said, let us begin. So right now, what we know is that there will be 3 different level packs that will come out for the game. The first of which will be Poe's Quest for Survival, which will be a level pack, and it is described as follows: a whole new adventure following Poe Dameron's journey back to the Resistance base. After his daring escape from the First Order that left him stranded on Jakku, Poe must search for BB-8 and locate a ship to escape the desert planet in an effort to find his way home. The playable characters and vehicles on this level will be Nakalit, who I don't know who that is, Own Goss, Poe Dameron in his Jakku design. Of course, he won't be wearing the jacket because we all know who the jacket is on now. We got also Strauss Clan Leader, Strauss Clan Raider, Strauss Clan Speeder, which will be a full-size vehicle, and there will also be a Strauss Clan Speeder in microfighter form. So that is pretty awesome, because it's a very specific description of what that level pack will be. It will be a level pack that tackles the whole idea of, hey, you know, a lot of people wondered when we watched The Force Awakens, how did Poe get out of there? What happened to Poe? Well, this level will explore that. This level will cover his adventure. Seems like he's going to run into some sort of a clan raider, so that will be interesting. How will that interaction go, and so on and so forth. So I'm really looking forward to that, and there's some cool speeder involved as well, so that should be pretty fun to experience. So with that in mind, let's move on to the next level pack, which will be the First Order Siege of Takodana, which will allow us to experience the thrilling assault on Maz Kanata's castle in a new way. Storm the shores of Takodana with Kylo Ren and the First Order in a quest to capture Rey and BB-8 to crush the Resistance forever. The playable characters and vehicles for this level will include Jashko Forrest, Roser Wino, Strono Cookie Thugs, Trombo, Laparo, Jakku Freighter, which will be a vehicle actually, and the Jakku Freighter in microfighter vehicle form. Now, if you don't know what the I don't know why I said vehicle, so weird, but vehicle. Essentially what the microfighters are, they are miniature or micro versions of the full-scale vehicles that we see oftentimes. So there's an actual Lego line called Microfighters where they release all these famous ships and vehicles and all these different things from the Star Wars universe in micro form. So that's what the micro stuff is. So this is kind of interesting because I bet you that there is a scene of the Siege of Takodana from the perspective of Rey. Like, I'm sure that in the game, in the core game, we'll play that. But it's really cool that the level pack goes like, you know what? Let's flip that on its head. And we're going to let you play as the bad guys. We're going to let you experience this same exact scene, but completely from the other perspective. So imagine even in the movie, right? As we're watching it, imagine we get all this kind of reasoning as to why the Resistance is fighting back and everything. But we don't really get the counterpoint, right? So here you get to experience that. You get the other side where Kylo would be flying in on his ship and guiding these guys and saying, okay, we got to get Rey, we got to get this done, we got to get BB-8 and everything. And it's a really, really cool idea. So I think that that is a really lovely idea to be included here. And with that in mind, let's move on to the next level pack, which will be the third and final level pack as far as we know at the time of this recording, and it is described as Escape from Starkiller Base. After crash landing on the surface of Starkiller Base, join the battle from the perspective of two Resistance pilots. With the help of a loyal astromech droid, outmaneuver the First Order to escape the planet before it goes kablam, aka explodes. Playable characters and vehicles will include Kai Thernali, Colonel Datu, Lieutenant Rodinon, Lieutenant Wright, R3Z3, which is an awesome name, Assault Walker, full-size vehicle, which sounds awesome. The Assault Walker, imagine how massive that thing will be. And then there's also the microfighter version of that Assault Walker design. So this sounds awesome. Again, for me personally, I like the whole idea of these level packs that almost kind of like dive into things in more detail. They kind of like drill down into the Star Wars universe and really explore things. This sounds fun. We get to experience the Starkiller Base attack, that whole notion and that whole design from the perspective of two pilots. Like, what was their experience like? You know, these are not this is not Poe. This is not like a famous Resistance pilot. It's just two pilots who I'm guessing are probably going to be the two previously named characters here, who I believe were Lieutenant, let me double check again, Colonel Datu and Lieutenant Rodinon. I'm guessing that's them, or maybe it's Lieutenant Rodinon and Lieutenant Wright, might be those two guys. So it's really interesting that we have this much more drilled down perspective. And honestly, as a Star Wars fan, I think that's something that we always look to, is we want to enjoy these stories. Yes, we love the big grandiose characters, the really important, you know, like Finn and Rey and Luke and Han and all these characters. We love them, but I think that oftentimes, like, we go to the books and the comics and all these other mediums to enjoy the stories of the other characters. We want to find out what is it like for the other people in the Star Wars universe, and I think that this is a really cool idea of exploring that. So with that being said, let's then move on to the rest of the Season Pass, because that's not all of it. What do you think that was all of it? That's not all of it. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying this update, don't forget to drop a like. That would be very highly appreciated. Let's go ahead and aim for 2,000 likes. Hopefully we can reach that goal. But here we go. Let's discuss the character packs. So these are going to be packs that do not include an actual level. This will be just a collection of characters. So for example, if you saw in Lego Marvel's Avengers, there was a mix of both. We got character packs and then we got level packs. So in certain situations like Civil War, for example, we only got a character pack, or the Spider-Man pack. It was just Spider-Man characters, but it wasn't a level attached to it. So this is what the character packs are, whereas the level packs include a level and an additional few playable characters. So it's kind of more of a mix, so to speak. So as far as character packs, let's do this. So the Jedi character pack is the first one that we will be discussing, and it is a Season Pass exclusive character pack, which means that I guess you can only get it by purchasing the season pass. You won't be able to, maybe for a certain period of time at least, get it any other way. And it features the members of the Jedi of the Order, available exclusively to season pass owners. Now, it could be a timed exclusive, so I wouldn't be surprised if, let's say, 6 months down the line, there will be a way to purchase them outside of it, but I don't know if that's the case or not. So this pack will include Isla Secura, Ki-Adi Mundi, Kit Fisto, which is awesome, Luminaro Unduli, Mace Windu, yes, Plo Koon, Sacy Teen, Shock T, Jedi Interceptor full-size vehicle, and the Jedi Interceptor in its micro-fighter form. So that is a very well-rounded pack, and some very, very iconic and important characters in there. You know, Kit Fisto, Mace Windu, Plo Koon, like very important characters within the Star Wars universe. So definitely quite cool to see that pack. Now, with that in mind, let's continue to the rest of the character packs because there are still plenty to discuss. The Prequel Trilogy pack, character pack, will allow us to play as select characters from, of course, episodes 1, 2, and 3, which are The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. And this pack will include Anakin Skywalker in a damaged form, Captain Panaka, I believe is how you pronounce the name, Darth Maul, very cool, Jango Fett, super cool, then a little bit of a downer with Jar Jar Binks, but let's be honest, everybody's gonna try to battle against him, so that should be pretty fun as well. Then we've got Padme, Watto, Zam Wessel, Naboo Starfighter, which will be a full-size vehicle, and then we also get the microfighter form of that. So if you've noticed, there's a little bit of a pattern. Whenever we get a full-size vehicle, we also get the microfighter version of it as well. So let's carry on. The Freemaker Adventures Character Pack sounds pretty cool. It showcases the galaxy's bravest family of scavengers from the upcoming LEGO animated series, which is of course going to be making its debut. I think it's like a week right before LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens comes out, right? I'm pretty sure it's like 20th or 21st, something like that, on the Disney channels and stuff. And it actually looks kind of cool, so I'm definitely going to check it out, see if I can actually enjoy it, because right now I am getting caught up on season 2 of Rebels, and my goodness, is that show good. It's had like a few filler episodes, but I'm getting towards the latter half of the season, and it's starting to ramp up again. It's a really good show. If you haven't seen it, check it out. So, let's carry on. Which will be the characters that are included in this pack? Well, we're going to have Bash, I think that's how you pronounce his name, who is also known as Iktochi, Grabala the Hot, which sounds pretty cool, Cordy Freemaker, Nar, or Nara maybe, Ram, who is also Iktochi, whatever that means, Roger, a battle droid, Rowan Freemaker, a lot of the Freemaker family it looks like, Xander Freemaker, the Star Scavenger, which will be the full-size vehicle included in this pack, and the Star Scavenger in its microfighter form. Let's move on. Speaking of Star Wars Rebels, there will be a pack that will cover that particular crew, so we will be able to play as the crew of the Ghost from the popular Disney show, and it includes, of course, Ahsoka Tano, Chopper, Ezra Brigadier, or Bridger. I don't know why I always say Brigadier. It's like a weird thing. I'm like, Ezra Brigadier. It's not it. It's Bridger, but for some reason I'm just like, Ezra Brigadier all the time. We also have Hera in here, Kanan, of course, Sabine, the Seventh Sister Inquisitor, Zeb is in here, and we get the full and microfighter size of the Ghost vehicle. Sounds awesome. Can't wait to play as the Rebels characters. This is probably the character pack I'm most excited for out of the entire bunch. But for those of you that enjoyed the previous animated series for Star Wars that was very, very, very popular as well, which was called, drumroll please, The Clone Wars. So of course, if you enjoyed that, you can go ahead and play some of the exciting characters from that pack as well by acquiring the Clone Wars character pack, which will include Asajj Ventress, Aura Singh, Barriss Offee, Cad Bane, that's the one I'm super excited to play as, Captain Rex, very cool as well, Commander Cody, that's going to be a cool team up, Hondo Onaka, Savage Opress, and we get the Republic gunship both in its microfighter and full-size form. So, there it is. That's the whole season pass. There's a lot to it. I know that there's a lot to digest, but I would love to hear from you guys in the comment section below. What is the thing that you're most excited for? Whether it be a character pack or a level pack, and maybe your favorite character out of the ones that are included in this. So, for those that are wondering about the season pass, it will be, I believe, $9.99, and it will be available on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and Steam, I believe. So those will be the locations that you can purchase the season pass, and it will be $9.99 as far as North America. I don't know how much it is in other regions. Like I don't know how much it would be in the UK or Australia or something like that. So that would have to be individually adjusted. And keep in mind, again, that's what the season pass will be purchased for or available for. You can also get the special edition of the Star Wars game where the season pass is included in it, so you could do that. Or if you don't want to buy the whole season pass, you can always individually nitpick certain DLC packs and purchase them for $2.99 each. But clearly it is a much better value to get the season pass, because that way you get a whole bunch of cool stuff for the price of $9.99, which is pretty awesome. So again, looking forward to hear from you guys. What is it that you are most excited for? I am absolutely stoked about the Rebels character pack, and then I have to say all 3 level packs sounds fantastic. The one that I'm most interested in is probably Poe's quest, because I'm actually intrigued to see what was going on. Like, how did Poe get out of there? What was the way that he figured out to get off that planet and everything? So I'm looking forward to that. And then honestly, the other 2 level packs sound pretty awesome. Experiencing the Siege on Takodana from the perspective of Kylo Ren and the First Order sounds pretty sweet. And then escaping from Starkiller base utilizing just 2 pilots sounds really cool as well, because it just gives you a different perspective on the Star Wars universe. So as always, ladies and gents, thank you so very much for watching today's update. If you guys enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye bye, everyone.